Hello there, as Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi would say. Today is a very special day. No, it's not. It's actually a Saturday. I came in at a day drinking yesterday with the boys, and I thought today I would make a video. A specific video. I am extremely hungover, but I need to prep a bumper. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to properly prep a raw bumper from the dealer, specifically Kia. I think all raw bumpers are the same, but there's certain ways you have to prep the bumper, because if not, something like this is gonna happen. And this is a video I took, and I've had customers send me videos of this, but it's pretty bad. Essentially, if you don't prep the bumper correctly, most shops don't know how to prep it, some do. You know, this is what's gonna happen to your car. Essentially, while you're driving down the road, a rock chip or anything cracks the paint, then air gets underneath it and takes all the plastic off, primer and plastic and everything. And I've had to repaint, I would say somewhere in the ballpark of 20 bumpers that I personally painted, and charged the customer, gave them the car, they're happy, then they call me back a month and a half later, and they're like, hey, all this paint's flying off the car. What's going on, man? I paid you all this money and the paint's coming off. So I had to get it back in, and we would do, I painted one bumper 3 times until we finally figured out the concrete way of making sure it's the primer sticking to the plastic. What happens is that when you get a raw bumper, if you were to get a aftermarket bumper and the bumper is primered, or if you get it from the dealer and it's primered, you're good. You just have to scuff it, clean it, shoot it. Within an hour, you'd have that thing sprayed. It's not hard. But with a raw bumper, there's different protocols, because it's almost like they put it inside the mold. They put it in the mold with the grease and everything. They mold the bumper, they take it out of the mold, and they just put it in the bag and send it out. So it's covered, and you can't really feel the grease, but once you get it wet, you can start seeing, you know, you can feel it. And the material it's made out of plays a key factor. And so today I'm gonna show you how I prep a Kia bumper so it doesn't do that, or any bumper, but I know Kias, I don't know about Nissans or Toyotas. I think Toyotas come primered already from the factory. Kias don't. And I do a lot of Kia cars. Like I have one right there. So I'm gonna show you guys how we do it, the proper protocols to do it. So if you're doing it, or if you're in a shop, you can have the knowledge to do it so it doesn't, you know, flake on you after a few days or a month or something. So let's get into it. All right, we are recording. I think so, hold on. There's a light flashing, yes. I got the new POV, you know, Insta360 Go 3S. And I got the Ace Pro, because I have over there, you probably can't see it, but I have a Hero 11 GoPro. And I hate it. So I was looking online, it said, yeah, 77 degrees or hotter, you have to be within -4 to 77 degrees to use a GoPro properly. If not, it starts to overheat. So my shop, I'm in Florida, and it's currently 95, and in the shop it's 100, and the Ace Pro was 104 versus GoPro 77. So even though I bought that GoPro 3-4 months ago, I was getting tired of doing work and then recording it. Then I realized only 30% of it was recorded, but the other 70% is just overheated. I was throwing that thing in the freezer just every 10, 15 minutes just so it wouldn't overheat. I got tired of it, so I just spent the money and got an Ace Pro. Hopefully, this is actually the test to see how long this thing's gonna go before it overheats. So we're at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let me grab the bumper and we'll get started. Now what I do like is that when you spend $500 on a bumper from Kia, they give you this nice bag. I have 10 of them saved up. Why? Because this bag has the bubble wrap on the inside. So whenever I'm painting a bumper for a customer or another shop or a dealer and they don't want me to install it, they just want me to paint it and bring it to them, I put in this bumper so my truck, it doesn't get torn up in my truck. So I always stock them. I have a bunch of them over there. Now, a lot of people will say, you need to scuff this. Oosh. You need to scuff this with Scotch-Brite or 800 grit. I did that. Did all the other protocols. It still peeled. So me and Tyler were talking, and Tyler, he's like, hey, why don't we try, instead of doing a Scotch-Brite or 800, let's just get it really, really hard, like cut into it really good so it'll stick. So essentially now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a DA and 320 and sand this whole bumper, but you have to get in every nook and cranny. You cannot like just do here, you can't just do right here and then not do this or not do in here, because then this will flake off and it'll flake off the rest. So you have to get everywhere. So let's get started. And one thing, when you see like the plastic is rubbing off and turning little chunks, it's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. So what I usually do is sand the flat surfaces and then go in by hand and get all the corners. This little stuff, because you have to get this too. Because here's the problem, if you don't get this, it's gonna peel from here to go down here, and there's a good chance it's gonna peel up. You gotta get it nice, scuffed. Gotta get into all the nooks and crannies. You see, like that's not good right there. I'm telling you, these things are pain. And the insurance only wants to give you like 0.9 hours to do this. 0.9 hours? Yeah, that's no more than 0.9 hours. What do you think you got? And what I think I got is I got a car that doesn't want to A car that I don't want to have to paint 3 times. See how all the plastic's coming off? Trust the process, just trust the process. All right, now you gotta get in here. And you gotta hit these corners. Hit the inside of this. Hit this. I'm telling you, it's a pain in the butt. Now while I'm relaxing in my room editing this video, I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit while I have this little time lapse going. I cannot stress enough. I cannot stress enough, guys, please. That's my phone, and I'm not gonna edit out the bling, but it's okay. I cannot stress enough. You guys need to get every corner, every piece scuffed. Because if not, it's gonna peel off. And I'm telling you, you should hear the frustration in my voice because it is a pain in the butt when a customer comes back and they're nice and they're cordial, but you know, you messed up and you have to fix it. Now instead of making more money, now I'm, you know, fixing this car for free. And it's not as easy as, hey, let me just scuff it and repaint it. No, you have to take the bumper apart. You have to take the bumper off, take it all apart. Just hear the frustration and how I'm crying on the inside just thinking about it. You gotta take it apart, strip it down, sand it all off, and you're starting from scratch. So that's a 5-6 hour process just because you didn't spend an extra few seconds when you were doing the prep. So that's it. All right, bumper's pretty much done. Now we go over it with the Scotch Brite. All right, now it's time to wash the bumper. Now here's the thing about these bumpers, because you know we scuffed it good, it's full of grease from the manufacturer, because they had to grease up the molds before they put them in there. So what we gotta do is we gotta degrease it. You know, I live by a rule, buy once, cry once. So I bought this like $250 hose. I didn't realize it would be a pain in the butt. Bring in and out every day because I can't leave it outside. If I leave it outside, you know, somebody will steal it. Cause they stealing like $20 Home Depot stuff. So why would they leave a $250 one outside? All right, hopefully nobody sends me a text message in the next few seconds while I talk to you guys. But when it comes to degreasing the bumper, it's very easy, guys. It's very easy. You just throw some degreaser on there. Well, first wet it, throw some degreaser, scrub it down. I like to wash it, and then go ahead and do it again. Just to, you know, it's kind of like when you taking a shower and you're really dirty. You gotta take a shower, scrub everything in, wash it down, and then you gotta throw another coat of soap on top so you can get clean, you know. So same concept with the bumper. And after I'm done, instead of letting it air dry for 20-30 minutes, I just take the blower, take off the big chunks of it, and then, you know, within 5-10 minutes it's pretty dry and we can move on to the next process. Now that the bumper is sanded and degreased, the next process is not just to primer it, because we did that and it messed it up. This is what we gotta do. We gotta wipe it down with 70% alcohol. Why? I have no idea. I degreased it, but apparently you gotta do that. So, and we realized that after we did the same process with 320 and everything, and it kept peeling off, we called a friend of ours. He goes, he told me, he's like, I always put rubbing alcohol and wipe it down before I put the adhesion promoter. I keep saying adhesive promoter, but it's adhesion promoter. So let me get this wiped down, and then we'll start getting it ready for primer. All right, now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and prep the primer. The reason I wanna do that is because the adhesion promoter has a 5-minute time frame from when you spray it to when you put the primer. So we're gonna do that now. Clean up, everybody do your... Damn it! All right, now that that's done, you need to get you one of these, something like this. It's a high build. It's to cover up those 320 sandpaper. So we use U-Pull, highly recommend it. Not sponsored, hopefully will be one day. You know, that'd be pretty nice. I gotta buy primer no more. Well, alrighty then. I like to mix mine. I think I did this in the previous video. Oh yeah. Just like that, Larry. Oh, okay, well that's good enough. Now this is a 4-to-1. Yeah. Go, 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 go. A little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, this is the hard one. Yeah, a little extra on the heart.
You know, I used to dread doing voiceovers, but now I'm making a rule. I am not editing anything. If I mess up, whatever the case may be, it's a one shot and that's it. And that was me like messing up, putting on the mask because somebody went and grabbed mine. I don't know why somebody else would grab my mask, but they used it and they have a small head, so I had to readjust it after I cleaned it, of course. And here I am putting the adhesion promoter. You gotta make sure you get a good adhesion promoter and make sure you like it, because ours, we had to go through about 3 or 4 different companies before we found a decent one we liked. And you know, that it is what it is. Damn it, my stupid computer.
So now you gotta make sure the spray is good, how it's flowing is good, so it doesn't look like crap when you spray the bumper. I'm gonna do that now.
And as you heard, my computer just glitched. It always happens with me, you know? My phone, somebody calls me, computer glitches, as soon as I do the voiceovers. But you know what? Like I said, we ain't redoing it, we ain't editing it. It is what it is. And when it comes now, back to the video, when it comes down putting in primer, make sure you put primer everywhere. Don't forget, I actually messed up. Instead of putting it on the spraying stands, I actually just kind of was lazy and left it on those stands there. But you know, you make sure you put 2 nice coats. If you see it has like a little fuzz on top, it's okay on your first coat. And then, you know, just make sure you put a heavy second coat. Orange peel, all that stuff don't matter because at the end you're gonna have to sand the bumper anyways. Unless you mix it, because those type of primers, the high builds, you can actually mix them as a primer or as a primer sealer, where you don't have to worry about letting it dry. You just put the primer sealer and then paint it. We don't like to do that on the raw bumpers because we want the primer to really stick to the plastic before we paint it. So we don't like to use a primer sealer on them. We've had bad experiences with them. We do it this way, even though then after we have to sand the bumper, it's okay. But it is what it is. That's how we do it. And let's get back to it.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. It's primered. So usually we let it sit for about a day. Good thing it's Saturday. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get Tyler to either paint it Monday or Tuesday. And after this, Tyler's gonna do his thing. But what we'll do is we'll 320 dry sand the bumper to get all the imperfections out, like the orange peel from the primer, and then he'll wet sand at 600. Then we take it to the paint booth and we'll paint it. So hopefully this was educational. I was having a hard time finding a video of this online, because when we were doing it, like I said, we had to paint probably 20 bumpers repaint 20 bumpers because we didn't do it properly. We figured it out. It could be different for other companies, or other brands, but we do a lot of Kias. So this is for Kia. But it should be universal for all brands. And this is specifically for raw bumpers that came with no primer. If it came with primer, it's easy. You can just sand it with 600 wet, put it on a rack, wipe it down with Prep-Sol, and shoot it. But this takes a little bit more time, and it's a little bit harder to do. So hopefully you found this educational. Thank you.
Recibirás de forma automática sin tener que salir de tu casa ni mover un dedo. Cientos de una tarjeta preparada.